All right. Uja, Dua for tuning in. Nice to see you here today or tonight or now. Let's see. All right, so we're here for the new moon presentation. And while people are tuning in, I'm just going to light some sage quickly. Uja, Ubenefer, a virtual smudging for you. My bowl. All right. Nice. Uja, Ubenefer. Uja means greetings. And we put our hands in the dua posture, which means thank you, means adorations. I see the divinity in you. So I say Uja greetings. Or I say Uben Nefer. Uben is rising and Nefer is good or beauty or beautiful. So instead of good morning, I've been saying good rising for like 20 years. And now people say grand rising. I still say good rising because the divine is good. And so I say Uben Nefer. Or you can say Uben Nefer Nehast. Nehast is the great awakening. So you can say good rising, great awakenings. That's what I usually say. Like if you call my phone and I'm not there, my message goes, good rising, great awakenings. Leave a message after the tone. And people say they call just to hear my message. Anyway. Welcome to tonight's presentation of Cosmic Chimes and Chanting from Osmogenes Temple and Light Being Wellness Center. And we have Chimes here. Can't see them TikTok. There you can see two of them. One of them. You can see one of them. I have Chimes here from Acutonics that are tuned to the different planets, different planetary frequencies based on their orbital motions. And then since they're tuned to the planets correspond to different Greek archetypes or gods and goddesses. And so at Kimitone's Cosmic Sound Healing, we take them back to the Kemet and goddesses. And we're in the new moon, which is going to be starting in about 20 minutes at 24 minutes. And we're going to, have a little sound healing, musical chanting journey, Cosmic Chimes and Chanting. Before we begin, I wanted to talk about some things to do at the new moon. So, I follow the Kemetic Sidereal astrology system, and in this system, the new moon is in Sidereal Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune, and in Kimitones, that would be NebtHet. And it's the new moon, which is corresponds to the goddess Sesheta, and Sesheta is the cosmic scribe. So when it's the new moon, it's time to write out your intentions. Write out your intentions, your affirmations. If you're in the mermaid gang, you write out your assumptions. And another thing you can do is write out a abundance check to yourself at the new moon. You write it to yourself and you sign it to the universe. So I have here an old checking account that I don't, it's not valid anymore. So At the new moon, I'm going to write out my prosperity check, my abundance check, and I'm going to write out my intentions. I'm going to be expressing my intentions during this session, but later on I'll be writing them out. There's something magical about writing. You know, we have a god of writing, the goddess of writing, Jehuti, and his counterpart, Sesheta. So writing is one way we can bring things into manifestation. You can speak things into existence and you can write them. One of my favorite manifestation techniques when I was heavily into chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, I would get a piece of graph paper and draw an image of what it is I wanted to manifest. Like at the time, I wanted a house out in the country. So I drew a picture of this vision I had on the piece of graph paper. And every time you chant, what is it, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you designate, every time you chant that certain amount of time, you color in a square. And after a while, the drawing will be colored in. And I manifested my home in California that way. I tried to save the paper for a long time, but it just got all dirty and torn up. I should have taken a photograph. But I finally, released it. But it really works. Drawing picture. Then you can also do a vision board. I made a TikTok about a virtual vision board that I did, and then I got it printed out onto a cloth. And you can find the link to get your vision board or any image you have turned into a cloth on my link tree. I have an Amazon page with different items that I use, and then if you go to that link, then I'll get a little commission. But you make yourself a vision board. You can do it the old-fashioned way on a piece of poster board, or or you cut out images, or you could do it the quote-unquote new way, virtual on way, where you just save photographs and images and you create a vision board. I used Canva. So those are some things to do at the new moon for your prosperity and abundance. And another thing, one of my favorite things that I'm going to be starting on April 1st, and you can also, is the 40-day prosperity plan. The 40-day prosperity plan was conceived by John Randolph Price. I think it was back in the 40s or 50s, maybe sooner. Maybe earlier. I don't even remember. And it's 10 affirmations, and you recite one a day, 2 times a day, in the morning and the evening for 15 minutes. And then at the website, Open Your Money Flow, which is the website I created so I could keep up with all of this, it'll have all the affirmations. And so you do that 10 days, and then you repeat it 3 more times. And it's interesting because the ancient Egyptian weeks, I call them strengths, are actually 10 days long. So this 40-day prosperity plan is actually in tune with the way the ancient African Egyptians, kept track of time, which doesn't really exist, but we still keep track of it because it helps us stay organized. And so the 40-day prosperity plan. So I'm going to be starting tomorrow, April 1st, and I go until May 11th. And I like to start on days that are 30 days long, because then it keeps up with the date, the principle that you're on corresponds to the date. And I will be reposting the videos that I made for the 40-day prosperity plan, or you can go to openyourmoneyflow.com and you'll find lots of information there. And if you're interested in the VIP section, just send me a donation and I'll send you the link. And then we can also do a coaching program for the 40-day prosperity plan. But I will be posting the affirmations while I'm on the 40-day prosperity plan. Once you start the 40-day prosperity plan, you're not supposed to tell anybody that you're doing it. But I am going to post the affirmations, but I'm not going to say, hey, I'm on the 40-day prosperity plan. Okay, so it's 1:11, so that means it's a very good time to begin. So we're going to start with the singing bowl, which is tuned to the key of G, and it's for the grounding, for the root chakra. And I'm just going to be chanting Om. And you can chant along with me. I really sing it. It's not like a chant. It's more of a singing. Oh, looks like there's a comment. Oh, thank you very much. Am I Egyptian? I am a descendant from ancient Kimit, and I don't have any proof of that other than what I feel and know to be true. Egypt refers to a nation that is really occupied territory. It's stolen from Kemet. So I don't identify with Egypt, but I do identify with Kemet. And I know that I have ancestors that lived in Kemet, and I know that my soul lived in Kemet at one time. Because there's things that I know and can do that, it is in my DNA. So thank you for asking. All righty then. So we're going to go counterclockwise when we're opening things, and then clockwise at the end. And if you're wondering why am I chanting Om, you can find it in the Leiden Papyrus, where it was first mentioned as Om as the name of the deity. Feel fully present in the moment. Be grounded and ready to go. All right. And for those of you following on TikTok, if you could just tap your screen, it sends a bunch of hearts to the algorithm, and it lets more people know that we are about to begin the new moon transmission. And greetings to Eramasa on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. So let's start with an introduction to the tones. At this new moon, we have the sun, or Ra, in NebtHet Pisces, Sidereal Pisces. We have the new moon, Sesheta, in Sidereal Pisces, NebtHet. We have Mercury. I really like that one. Mercury, also in Sidereal Pisces, and Chiron. Chiron in Sidereal Pisces, and also a little asteroid, Pallas Athena, who corresponds to the goddess Net. So we're going to be dealing with all these energies and vibrations in the transmission this rising. And I also include Anpu, the opener of the ways, because you're always supposed to begin your prayer sessions with the opener of the way, Anpu. So let's just go through a rundown of the tones, and then we'll start around 124. So Anpu is the opener of the ways. This is the tone that corresponds to the zodiac, to the ecliptic in sound healing. It's to remove obstacles and toxins and blockages. And Anpu is the son of NebtHet and Asar. Even though Asar was married to the sister of NebtHet, Aset, at the time of the conception. And this birth of Anpu discernment is what gave rise to Set or egoism killing the soul, Asar. And that's the story of the Lion King. NebtHet, Neptune, represents our emotions, our past lives. NebtHet is the lady of the house, dealing with our physicality and our mortality. When I think of NebtHet and the sound healing and astrology, I see us releasing our emotions with control and grace and ease, rather than like a tsunami. NebtHet symbolized by a vase. Her headdress is a vase. And so I visualize me releasing my emotions, my anger, my frustrations, all my fetters. So that's what this healing session is about. It's about being in space, safe space to release your emotions. If you want to chant or sing or cry or write in your journal or color or draw, this is the time to release your emotions. And for health and wellness, not because it's all bottled up and you can't take it anymore. It's because now is the time. There's certain times for everything, and this is the moment astrologically to release your emotions. Sesheta is a cosmic scribe. She's the goddess of mathematics, astronomy, astrology, engineering, sacred geometry, architecture, record keeping, accounting. She's the time reckoner. She's the one who built the House of Asar. I read that she's the one who came up with the meta-nature and taught it to her partner, and then we have the sun, like I said, is in Sidereal Pisces, which is Ra. This is our creativity. This is the creation. This is our manifesting our life of enlightenment. And one way we can do that is by writing it down, writing our intentions, making our lists. Then Mercury is in Sidereal Pisces, or Jehuti, the cosmic mind. So this is the time when our mind is open to receiving wisdom from the cosmic mind. Let me state that emotions is energy in motion, and feelings come from within us. Feelings come from within us, from our heart. Is vibration. Like if a thought comes into our mind, or we hear something, or we see something, or we're triggered, then a feeling will rise, a vibration will appear, and our emotion is how we express it. So we can't control our feelings, but we can control our emotions, and one way we can do that is by tuning into cosmic mind and studying wisdom teachings, chanting. We know that we allow Jehuti to choose our words. And when we're writing our intentions, we're writing the intentions of Jehuti, not our ego, but what's pure, what's going to bring about the manifestation that we desire. And in Chiron, the wounded healers, a reminder to take care of ourselves, our self-care, and that when we're releasing our emotions, it is a form of self-care. It's not, being emotional or, angry or what does someone say, being ornery. It's so that if we don't release our emotions, then they remain bottled inside of us, and then they come, lead to a physical ailment. So we want to release our emotions. We want to express our feelings by writing them down with our artwork. And then Pallas Athena, or Nit, is the warrior goddess, the warrior, and she's also the creatrix, because she creates by knitting, by weaving. She weaves the veil of creation. And when we are enlightened, or when we're tuned into Jehuti, we can lift the veil of creation, we can lift the veil of the illusion and connect with the divine. And she's also here to protect us while we're having this experience of releasing. All right, so that's an introduction. Ucha, Uben Nefer, Sophia Capricorn. Okay, when this is done, I'll go get my chart and we'll check on the births, because I follow the Sidereal astrology. And if you're like me, in the Western system, I'm a Leo, but in Sidereal astrology, I am Cancer. So when I'm all done, I'll run and get my chart. I forgot to bring it, but I'll bring it. I'll get it when we're done because I want to be on point for 124. Okay, so here we go. We just start with pop poop. Sesheta. I open the way to success on my spiritual journey. I open the way to abundance and to my manifestation. Enlightenment. For one and all. I am releasing my emotions. I am expressing my feelings. This opens the way for my healing and victory. I release my emotions for purity. I speak more truth and righteousness, ending the silence of abuse and oppression. I speak for my I write my intention. I create my emotions. And purify my heart. And cleanse my REU. For myself and all others. I heal my family. I use my creativity. To bring about when I express my Projecting the cosmic mind into reality. For peace, for abundance, protection. To all to all Sesheta. To I am hotel. Do I need All right, we had a few comments. YouTube, I am not sure what's going on with the Wi-Fi over here. I noticed it kept rebuffering. So it must have just been a very powerful transmission. Okay, let's see. Whoop, 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 whoop. Let's see here. Looks like some people have been enjoying the transmission. Zaddy Cat Disney. No, I don't write for Disney. Oh, maybe there's some. Okay. Okay. Getting let go from your job tomorrow. Well, this might not be what you want to hear. There is a gift in every adversity. And it's most auspicious that you're getting let of your job, getting let go from your job at the new moon. And this is very important right now. We have the new moon in Sidereal Pisces with the Sun, Mercury, Chiron, and Pallas Athena. And I recommend that you start writing out how you feel about this. Write about what you want to happen instead of reflecting on what's happening. Because when we reflect on what's happening, we're really just replaying it over and over and over and over again. Like when you go to a therapist and you talk about all the things that are wrong, you talk about them every week, then you're just like, it's good to release. I'm not saying don't talk about it. It's good to release your feelings and emotions. However, it's crucial to spend part of the time focusing on what you want to manifest. So that is what I recommend. My manager was, oh dear. Okay. Imogen. Okay. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. You want to report this? Oh, okay. Okay, so another thing is justice. We're talking about Ma'at here. We're not talking about the KKK, America, USA, Western Babylonian capitalism. We're not talking about that. We're talking about justice. And in the Nigerian tradition, we have the goddess Ma'at, who is the goddess of balance, truth, order, harmony, justice, reciprocity, and righteousness. And I have this beautiful little box. It has an image of Ma'at here. And you can recognize her by her feather on her head. When the body dies, the heart is weighed against the feather of Ma'at. And I talked a little bit, or I chanted a little bit about the REU. And this is what's going on for you. I don't know if I can see your name. Nocturnal tortillas. Okay, I love tortillas. So the justice that you might want to see, or the idea that you have of justice, or the idea I have of justice, might not be the same as divine justice. And this is really hard to accept when you first come into the Nigerian practice, and I know because I was there. I have a video about it. Ma'at, the scale of Ma'at. You'll find it somewhere. Maybe I'll repost it or something. And what I thought that Ma'at was justice, balance, truth, order, righteousness, reciprocity, etc. And Ma'at is the scale of justice. She's the weigher of justice. And justice, like I said, if we're seeing it from our perspective as a human, or as the person that is experiencing injustice, or as you witnessing injustice. However, there's this thing called REU, and it's in our heart. And the heart is symbolized by a container, a vessel, like this could be a symbol of an ab, of the heart. And you can see it's filled with water. The water represents feelings and emotions. And REU are impressions on our hearts from past lives, past life, like yesterday, 10 lifetimes ago. It even has your ancestors. REU is in there. And and it has to do with like longings and desires and addictions, and like this people, they have to be together even though one of them is married, and they work together, breaking laws. It's things that you can't really explain. Why did you do it? I don't know, just something inside of me, it just made me do it. And people blame that on the devil, right? But no, it's actually your egoism. Because our egoism judges everything. Our egoism says this is right, this is wrong, this is left, this is like, I like this, I don't like that. That's because our brain is split into two, and it's constantly going back and forth. The heart is one. The heart is also made of brain cells. The heart is made of brain cells. The womb and the intestines are lined with brain cells more than the brain. So that's why people say, feel it in your gut, or your intentions, your intuition is seated in the womb, or, heart. So when people act in ways that are against Ma'at, such as having an affair or stealing or, assaulting or slapping someone at the Oscars, it's because their REU made them do it. It's because in a past life or a past experience, they were traumatized, something happened, and in this lifetime, we get triggered. Maybe in the past life, you were a slave, and at some point a slave owner cut off your finger because you didn't pick enough cotton. I don't know, I'm just giving an example. So in this life, when you see cotton and you see a white person, your finger might start hurting, or start itching, or you're like, oh, that's your REU. It has nothing to do with the white person you're standing next to. It has nothing to do with the cotton. It's in your REU. It's in your DNA. There's nothing you can do about it. So it comes up and it has to be released. So when toxic REU comes up, since we don't know about it, we act on it. Our ego is like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I like that feeling. Let's go. Let's go. And so we can't judge people. We can't judge ourselves. We can't judge people because we don't know what someone's REU is. You have no idea. You have no idea what your REU is. You have no idea what this person you just met's REU is. We don't know the REU of the people, the worker, the co-worker, the affair, the spouse. The person's spouse might have cheated on them in the past life. And so now in this life, the spouse is like, well, I'm going to cheat on this time, because we may or may not remember the past life experience. So one thing you can do, I like to do, and I'm not doing it right now, but you can do pendulum readings to get more information. So I'm just going to ask right now, maybe they had a relationship. Did the people having an affair, did they have a relationship in the past life? And they have unfinished business. And what about the person that's cheating on her spouse? Did they have a relationship in the past life? And was one of them unfaithful? So you see, we can't judge. So when you say justice, you're not the judge. We only have our perception of the truth. We don't really know the deep underlying currents of why this is happening. Now, in natural law, if you're married to someone, you should not cheat on someone. That's just the way it is. However, we don't know what happened in the past. Yes. Yes, this is true. The name of my practice. The name of my practice is Shetao Neter from Ancient Kimit. Shetao means hidden, and Neter means divinity. So we all have this hidden divinity inside of us. And some people are aware and some people are brainwashed and ignorant of the divine. People that are ignorant of divine act on their egoism. They don't acknowledge anything else other than what's right in front of them. Or like some atheists believe in science. However, they refuse to identify science as their religion because the science of today does not necessarily coincide with nature. So then it's man-made. It's not natural. It's man-made. So that's my opinion and my experience. What Arc by Canoe? Wait. Thank you. It just hurts because I know the co-worker's wife. Yes, it does hurt. And so this is when you have to express your emotions. I would recommend not going to the authorities because these situations have a way of turning back on you, coming back on you, and then you'll be the one in trouble. I recommend writing out how you feel about the situation, writing out everything that's going on, write out how you would like to see a beautiful ending. There's a term called NebtHet, the end of a beautiful day, the end of a perfect day. Just write it out, visualize it, use your energy work. I recommend watching Sammy Ingram, The Mermaid Game, and start working with assumptions. Oh, you can't see my beautiful pendant, Caprita, the scarab for transformation, right? You can bring the desired result into existence by speaking it and by visualizing it, and not by going to the legal authorities because they will turn it against you. Remember, this society rewards rape, murder, assault, pedophilia. It rewards adultery, right? Think about it. Those are the things that are rewarded in this society. So when you go to those authorities seeking ma'at, you're not going to find it. It's going to get turned around. So I do not recommend going to the authorities. I recommend going within. I recommend praying for the people that they see the truth, that they see the enlightenment. Pray that their energy is cleared because they're in a cloud of toxic REU, of poisonous, toxic energy and vibrations. And it doesn't matter what the situation is. Like even if they all break up and leave the job and go somewhere else, the toxic REU is going to follow them. And it's going to happen again and again and again. And then the next life, since they didn't figure out in this lifetime, in the next lifetime, they're going to come together again, the three of them working together or whatever. It's going to happen again until one of them wakes up, cleanses their REU, and starts changing the energy and the vibration. So that is really the only way to seek justice, is within. When you can see it in your own life, you'll see it around you. When you can see it in here and you can feel it in here, then you'll see it out there. But if you're looking for it outside of yourself, if you're looking for it from the just the legal, like today, for instance, I saw a TikTok of the woman that is being nominated for the judge, and she was being interviewed. I guess, when she's being considered for this position, they have like I don't know what they call it, a questioning. I don't know what the term is. And one woman asked her if she could define the definition of a woman. Could she give a definition of a woman? And she said she could not. But she said she's not a biologist, and she could not tell them the definition of a woman. And then a man asked her to tell when does she feel the moment of a life begins. And again, she said she couldn't answer. She didn't say she didn't know. She didn't specifically say she didn't know. She just said she couldn't answer. And you know why she couldn't answer? Because those are political topics, transgender and abortion. They were just asking her basically to express her views. And she couldn't, because she's not a biologist. So that is a perfect example of why we cannot go to the judicial system for justice. All right. So that's my new moon discourse. So if you wanted Kimit, okay, what is Kimit? So Kimit is the indigenous name for Egypt. Before the Greeks, before the Romans, before the Arabs, before the Christians, before the tourists, the place we know as Egypt was called Kimit by the indigenous people, the people that lived there, the people that founded the culture. They were called themselves Kimit. Now, what does Kimit mean? What does Egypt mean? Depends on who you're talking to. I don't deal with Egyptologists because they're all Egyptologists and they're not concerned with the truth. So people who are in alignment with Kimit and truth, you can find the definitions in the scriptures, but Kimit means black, land of the black, blackness. It means black fertile soil. It means the black sky. It means the super consciousness awareness. It's a vibration. It's not race. People think that when I say Kemet means black or land of the black, I'm talking about the race. People in ancient Kemet were not, there was no such thing as race. Everybody is black. Everyone who's a human. Now, I'm not speaking for clones, reptilians, or artificial intelligence who are walking around on the earth today. I'm talking about human beings, people who are born from a mother and conceived by a man and a woman. Okay, I'm not saying anything other than that's what I'm referring to. Human beings, all human beings came from the original humans who lived in Africa. And they just happened to have black skin because they lived in the sun all the time. They didn't go inside and work in offices. They were outside. So they were heavily melanated. And then as time happened, I'm one of the people that believes or knows or feels at one time it was all one continent. And then over time, the continents broke apart and spread apart. So there were black people on every piece of the earth, one continent, a Mexim. And then when it broke off and became different continents, the original people who were originally black were still on the continents. And then over time, the geography changed, the environment changed, and their appearance changed. So every human being has black ancestors. So no one should be offended when we say that Kemet means black and that the first people were black and that everyone has black ancestors. So people who are offended by that, they're of a different vibration. They'll never get it. So not only does Kemet mean black, Egypt means black, land of the blacks. Ethiopia, which is a Greek term for Kush, means black. Sudan means black. Nubia means black. Moors means black. India and Hindu were once colonies of Ethiopia, and those words also mean black. The first people in Japan were black. The first Chinese were black. The first East Indian people were black. There were black people on Turtle Island before Native Americans, before indigenous people, before Mexicans. North, Central, and South America was black people. It's been documented as research. If you look for the information, you'll find it. So Kemet refers to this one culture. We're not sure if it started here on Turtle Island or over there in Africa. It's one culture, many locations, many people, many vibrations, one culture, and it's human. There's pyramids everywhere. There's people following the stars everywhere. There's people living with nature everywhere. That's this humanity. Kemet is the original humans. And this tradition I'm discussing, Natarianism, they laid out instructions for enlightenment. Flat out. Yoga postures, breathing exercises, meditations, diets, rituals, offerings, scriptures. It's all there. Thousands of years old. Not 6,000 years old. Not 2,000 years old. Like 250,000 years old. So, okay, yeah. So the cheating aspect is pretty awful. It's disgusting. And it's our REU. Humanity, at some point, we turned away from these divine principles. We turned away from Ma'at. We thought we knew better than the Creator. And now everything's out of balance. We can't blame anyone in particular. All we can do is change ourselves from within. And then that's how we can change the world. And that's why I do these sound healing transmissions and the sound healing sessions, because sound can induce change, invoke change at the molecular level. And so when we align our vibrations with these higher vibrations and align with the cosmic forces of nature, the gods and goddesses are cosmic forces of nature. They're not just, gods or goddesses with wings or feathers. This is a representation of a cosmic force of nature. You can think of it as the sun. This is the sun, Ra, and then there's different rays of light from the sun, and those are different rays of nature, of cosmic forces. So the original rays from the sun were these cosmic forces, these Neteru, the gods and goddesses. And we represent these rays that have been broken down into infinite rays. Like there's so many variations of rays of light, but we're all rays of light from the divine. And so Shetau Neter has instructions to help you change your mind, to go from being someone who's brainwashed and conditioned to someone who has gone through various stages of self-liberation. And I'm speaking from experience, because when I came into this practice, I was still traumatized from my experience with my least favorite astrophysicist. And this is the practice, the Unitarianism combined with the sound healing, is how I found my way out. And that's why I do these offerings. So as far as like other experiences in your life, if you grew up in a home where there was cheating and adultery, then you're going to continue to experience and attract those type of experiences until you've healed within yourself. And I recommend healing the inner male and inner female. We all have everything in life has masculine, feminine principles. And so if our inner male and our inner female are out of harmony, then our relationships, our interactions with other people's inner male and females will be out of harmony. So you can heal this for yourself, because you were traumatized by this experience, and then it'll help your parents, and it will make sure that you don't have this type of experience in your life either, or pass it on to your children. Because trauma is included in our RU, and we do pass it on to the next generation if we're not careful. Okay. That's why Native Pacific Islanders were all different shades. Right. Everyone is all different shades. But our essence, our origin is blackness. Everything comes from blackness. The stars, the sun, everything comes from the unknown to the known, from the invisible to the visible. That's just the order of nature. Okay. Dua, I'm really sorry. I have not done a pendulum reading in a while, and I know people sent me some questions. And this is the new moon transmission, so I'm not going to do another pendulum reading. I was just giving an example, and I will schedule another one. So I just had a long discourse on many different things related to the new moon in Pisces, and I talked a lot about Unitarianism and Shetau Neter. And now it is time to have another transmission. This one, we're just going to focus on the new moon and Sidereal Pisces. We'll leave the other tones out for now. And so this is to help us, because we're going to be, when we get off of the broadcast, we're going to I will say though, if you're wondering if someone has a crush on you, usually if you have feelings for someone, they are going to feel it. And if they, it's not really about if that person has a crush on you, it's how much do you have a crush on yourself. The more you love yourself and you harmonize your inner male and inner female, then you will radiate a vibration that is attractive to the person that is perfect for you. So I would suggest don't worry about a pendulum reading. Does this person have a crush on you? Do you have a crush on your higher self? Do you love yourself? Do you trust yourself? Do you trust your intuition? Do you put yourself first? Not like egoism, but if someone's asking you to do something and you really don't want to and you really don't have time, do you listen to yourself when it says, don't do it, don't do it? Or do you go along and do it anyway? Those are the type of questions that are more important than does someone have a crush on you. Is do you love yourself unconditionally? Do you trust yourself unconditionally? Because if you trust yourself unconditionally, then you would already know the answer to your question. The pendulum readings that I do are to help us make decisions, not to predict the future. But I will be back with them because they are very helpful. But I do energy flow analysis. It's not just like a pendulum reading like that. So we would go into, your ancestors. We go into your Arya, your past life, your chakras. It's way more than that. So your first homework assignment is to harmonize your inner male and female and get to the point where you totally trust yourself. And then ask yourself, is this the right person for you? Okay. So anyway, back to the new moon. This new moon is in Sidereal Pisces. Goddess NebtHet, Goddess Sesheta, the cosmic scribe. We're writing out our intentions. We're going to write our abundance check later, right? Write your abundance check. You're going to write your intentions, your assumptions. You're going to check out the Mermaid Gang with Sammy Ingram and learn about your making assumptions. And we're going to, when we're writing out our intentions, we're going to focus on our feelings and our emotions. We're going to focus on our health and our well-being. We're going to focus on our sacred space, making sure we have a sacred space for our practice. That might be a good thing to do at this new moon is to do create a new altar so you have a sacred space. Okay, so I appreciate you asking questions for the pendulum reading. This is Cosmic Chimes and Chanting, and I'm not doing pendulum readings right now. Maybe after I'm finished with this transmission, I'm going to go get my astrology chart and we're going to look up some astrology information. But I'm going to save the pendulum reading for another time. So my advice is to harmonize your inner male and female. Trust and love yourself completely and radiate what it is you want to attract. Don't focus on attracting until you can radiate, until you can match the vibration, match the frequency of what you want. So if you want this person to want you, to be with you, then you have to raise your frequency to a point where they will. Anyway, let's focus on the new moon. There's so much going on in the world today. Like what happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock? Talk about not releasing your emotions in a positive way. That was not a positive way to release the emotions. That's the type of thing we don't want. It's really sad that he's a life coach now, and that was very poor branding what he exhibited. So I don't know what's going to happen to him now. But we are going to focus on learning how to express our emotions in a healthy way by writing them down, by using our creativity and not our animosity. You know, because everything is frequency. You are Sesheta. You are NebtHet. Writing out our feelings, writing our intentions, creating the life we love, projecting what we want, speaking into existence our manifestation, releasing our feelings, opens the way to a brighter day. Trapping our emotions, stagnant energy, illness and disease of physicality. You are Sesheta. You are NebtHet. Nupu NebtHet. I am Sesheta. I am the cosmic scribe. I am NebtHet, the lady of the house, the lady of physicality and mortality. So much in the world is unborn. Restore much to the world. Much gift. So much anger in the world. Restore balance to the earth. So much violation in the world. Restore peace to the earth. Write out your intentions for peace. Release your emotions of toxicity. Write out your feelings of joy. Let go of ignorance and brutality. From the bottom of my heart, there is peace. From the bottom of my heart, there is stillness. Bottom of my heart, there is truth and justice and righteousness. No matter what's going on, find the gift in adversity. Sesheta, do a NebtHet, Nupu Sesheta, Nupu NebtHet, do a Sesheta. Do a NebtHet, Nupu Sesheta, Nupu NebtHet, Nupu Sesheta, Nupu NebtHet. Letting go of attachments. Or letting go of attachments to what we think justice is. And embracing the justice of Ma'at. Because everything is in divine right order. We can't really say why things happen, why bad things happen to good people. All we can do is help people heal from the things that happen and help them find peace with what's going on. That's really all we can do. Okay. All right. Thank you for sending me likes. Okay, so I promised I would go and get my chart so we could see what sign you are. So if you just give me 1 minute, I will be right back. My legs are asleep. Okay, we're almost finished. Okay, I'm on my way back. Felt good to get up. My legs were about to fall off. Okay, so as I was discussing earlier, this is a Kemetic Sidereal astrology system that came through me. I was trained to be an astronomer and I was going to be an astronaut, and that didn't happen. And I found astrology and healing and wellness and reggae and spirituality and culture. So even though it was horrible what happened, it led to a spiritual awakening. So that's the gift in the adversity. And I've learned to always look for the gift in every adversity. And that's how you can stay enlightened. So here is the chart that I made. I made this chart like 20 something years ago. I need to update it, I think. And you can find it at lightbeingwellness.com/horoscopes. And I've posted it on several different places. And this is the chart based on the actual motion of the sun and the planets through the constellations called the zodiac. And in the Western astrology, they only acknowledge 12 constellations along the zodiac, but there's actually 13. Ophiuchus is one of the biggest constellations, and it's located between Scorpio and Sagittarius. And it not only is it one of the biggest, it actually crosses the ecliptic. There's many zodiac constellations that are smaller than Ophiuchus. They do not cross the ecliptic. However, they are included in the zodiac. The Western astrology, which is nice and neat in 12 equal sections, and each one always starts on the 21st of the month. The Western system is based on an illusion. First of all, it ignores precession of the equinox. Now, we know precession of the equinox is real because we have the seasons. The Earth, orbits on its axis, but it's tilted the 23.5 degrees. And so when it spins on its axis, it wobbles. And that's what causes the precession of the equinox and the seasons. So if astrologers acknowledge the seasons, how can they ignore precession of the equinox? Now, this chart, it's upside down, it shows, you can see that Scorpio is this red section here, is only 7 days long. And Virgo, this turquoise section here, is 45 days long. So they don't all start on the 21st of the month. And then Ophiuchus is this green one between Sagittarius and Scorpio. So if you want, you could type in your birthday and I can tell you what sign you really are. What are you looking at? This is a sign of the 13-month sidereal astrology system called horoscopes. Well, that's my my practice. There's other people that practice 13-month sidereal astrology. They don't call it horoscopes, but mine is called horoscopes. And this is the true astrology chart, ephemeris, based on when is the sun in a particular constellation. The Western system, they divided the Earth's orbit around the sun into 12 equal sections and named each section after a constellation. But that is not when the sun, this planet is actually in that. For example, my birthday is August 5th. So in Western astrology or Babylonian astrology, I'm a Leo. The true Leo goes from August 10th to September 15th. So in reality, I am a Cancer, which is from July 27th to August 9th. So if you're interested in getting your chart done, you could reach out to me. You can also arrange to have a Cosmic Chimes and Chanting session done for your birth date with chants that have never been presented. They just come through. And, I'm working on my vocabulary so that I can express the intention in the NebtHet. Because if you notice now, I offer adorations to the divinities in the NebtHet by their Kemetic name. And then when I have to come to describe their cosmic force or describe their qualities, characteristics, or personalities, I have to use English because I don't know them that well. Well, I don't know them at all in NebtHet without looking at my notes. July 20th, I would no longer be Cancer. July 20th, that is true. You are on the cusp. You would be considered a Gemini. So you would be on the cusp, I would say. But as far as the actual date, it would be a Gemini. Gemini is June 20th to July 20th. To September 21st. So September 21st, you are a Virgo. Virgo is one of the largest constellations. And so Virgo, you're into analytical, detail, meticulous, perfection, clean, orderly. And then, you can take it too far and become obsessive. So the way this is interpreted is your Western astrology sign. Like I'm a Leo in the Western system. And it's true, I am very creative. And I am, I have qualities of leadership. I'll put it that way. However, that's how I get around the earth. That's what I do with my work on earth. But my purpose, my mission, my destiny is in the energy of Cancer, or in this tradition, Kepra, transformation. And the Kepra in the Tyrian tradition is the scarab that pushes the sun up every morning at sunrise. So this takes the dung from the day before, the compost, and puts it into a ball and then pushes it up. And so that's the Kepra. Kepra is the creator and Ra is the creation. So Cancer is the creator and Leo is the creation. So that's how we interpret it. August 13th. August 13th, you are still in Leo. Yay! Some of them don't change anymore. Yeah, if you want more information, you can, sign up for a chart or just a chart, and then I will list the Kemetic correspondences and just like a few words about that. Or you could, it depends on your budget. Or you can get a chart with the reading. The reading takes me several days to complete because I do the artwork, the iconography, the meditation. I mean, it's a map. It's a detailed map, and it takes me like 4 or 5 days. And when somebody puts in their order, I can't always start it that day. Like someone put their order in 2 weeks ago, and I was able to do the chart, but I have not had time to do the analysis. I'm going to work on it today, but it doesn't always come right away. And then you can arrange for a consultation where we go over the analysis in the chart, and then also do like energy reading with the pendulum, identifying blocks and offering solutions. The horoscope chart is fascinating to me because I like to see people who have a ficus in their chart, because that is a indication that you have a gift for healing. And a lot of people are not tapping into their healing gift. And, oh, well, I got certified in this and this and this and this, but I'm still in my 9-to-5 job, and I'd like to leave my job, but I don't really know what I'm going to do. And I'm like, well, you've got sun in the ficus, you've got moon in the ficus, you've got this and that. I think maybe you should look into healing. So it's a lot of fun to do these charts. Yeah. Okay. So I don't see anyone else asking for their chart. So if you want to look later, if you're watching the replay, you can always just go to the website lightbeingwellness.com/horoscopes, or just drop me a note. Or you can also at the website, there's a horoscopes handbook and resource guide where I list the correspondences from the Greek system to the Kemetic system. So like for Leo, we have Sekhmet, and I talk a little about Sekhmet. For Neptune, I'd have NebtHet. I talk a little about NebtHet. And then, you can learn about your chart that way as well. Okay. So if Great Awakening, Sun Eyes, Ucha, for tuning in. I don't know if you have any questions about your astrology chart. You wanted me to check your birthday really quick. I'm not doing pendulum readings today. I'm trying to keep them separate. So, well, that's really all that I had for you today. For the new moon, I did go into a little bit of a discourse, but it was related. I feel it was good. Yes, please. Yes, please. So when is your birthday? Tell me your birthday and we can look it up. So coming up, other programs coming up. We have what I'm trying to do, what I'm doing now is the new moon transmission and here's another one. Oh, this is good. December 2nd. You are an Ophiuchus. I already know that. You are born between November 30th and December 17th. So you are the 13th constellation. And that means that you have a healer in you. Maybe you are not using your healing gifts, but you have a healing gift. Or maybe you are on a healing journey. You have a healing journey, and whatever you're using or doing to heal yourself, that is going to become your healing gift. So it's wonderful. So I'd love to, do your chart and see if you have any more questions. Okay, yes, Sun Eyes, August 11th. So yes, you are, you made it. You are an actual Leo. Yay! I was so depressed when I realized I was no longer a Leo. I was just a scarab, beetle, crab. But now that I know the importance of it, I'm cool with it. And I'm still, I still have Leo characteristics. But my destiny is as a transformer. I use my creativity for transformation. And I have other planets in Leo. I have Mars. And I forgot. I have like 3 important planets in Leo. Okay, then we have another one here, March 7th. March 7th, you are an Aquarius. Oh, that's so cool. And March 26th, oh, you just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Pisces. Yes, so you are actually a Pisces, so that didn't change. March 4th. Right, March 26th. So usually considered to be Aries. Yeah, so you're a Pisces. March 4th, you are an Aquarian. Yes. So in this system, you are a Pisces. So this is your time right now, because we have the sun in Pisces, we have the moon in Pisces, we have Mercury in Pisces, we have running in Pisces, and Pallas Athena. So, this is the time, it's the new moon, like people's emotions are going to be coming up. They're going to be coming to the surface. The main thing to remember is that when emotions and feelings come up, well, let me step back. Feelings come up, we can't control them. When emotions come up, it doesn't necessarily mean that the thing that's causing the emotion is true. It could just be a trigger. It could just be, a mistake. And so when we have emotions come up, we shouldn't get trapped by them. Like when I was still traumatized, I would get trapped by my emotions because they were so bad. I was ashamed for having them. And I felt so bad for thinking these terrible things. And so I was stuck. But when feelings come up, they need to be released. And we release our feelings as emotions. And so when we are enlightened, we control our emotions. We can respond or react. And so during this time, everybody's emotions are going to be coming out. We're all emotional, all this Pisces, Neptune energy. And so we're going to remain seated on our inner throne and respond. Remember I said we're pouring out our emotions, gentle, not. That's what I want you to remember from this transmission is all these emotions. We're going to remain seated on our throne like I said. We're going to, no matter what's going on, we're going to remain in the stillness. We're going to remember our divinity like Sekhmet and Heteru. We're going to put Heru at the steering the boat, and Set, our egoism, is going to be protecting our boat, protecting our journey, but not guiding our journey. So that is the most important thing, and a really good way to deal with emotions and feelings is by writing in our journal. And especially at the new moon, we write our intentions, our assumptions, our affirmations, our heart. We do some healing work on ourselves. Our heart is purified. Our heart and mind are in alignment and harmony. And then we write out our intentions. We speak it into existence. That's what I hope you remember from this experience. And if you're interested in the astrology, go to lifebeingwellness.com and sign up for your personal astrology. I call it a cosmic map, a cosmic compass, and cosmic navigation. Because we're on a boat. If you see the gods and goddesses from the Neteru, they're usually on a boat. Because we're on a spiritual journey on the ocean of consciousness, the ocean of creation. And, we don't want things to rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby, rock the boat, don't dip the boat, oh, well, rock the boat. Maybe I'll make a TikTok with that. Okay, so that is all I have for you today. Unless you have any more questions. My neck has been hurting so bad for 2 weeks. Okay, your neck is hurting. All right. Well, anything in the neck, that has to do with speech. You're speaking, you're expressing yourself. So if your neck is not sore from like an injury or sleeping weird or sitting in front of the computer all the time, if you can't say my neck is sore because ... then it might be energetic. It could be spiritual, or like if you have an injury in your back, like a pinched nerve or something like that, there's all sorts of meridians that travel up the spine, and it could be that. So I can't really do a lot for you distance right now, unless it's like emotional healing or cleansing. Sometimes when I do the self-care with the tuning forks, it helps you. But let's talk about it some more. Yes, there you go. Speaking your truth. That is exactly what I'm talking about. If you have been silenced by abuse or violation or triggered or fear, then that can lead to physical pain. That's what I'm talking about, releasing emotions. So write in your journal, write in your diary, because that's the throat chakra, anywhere in your neck, front or back. That means you're not expressing what's true for you. And that is the most important. That's what I was talking about earlier. Someone was saying if someone has a crush on them, the most important thing is to have a crush on yourself with a capital S. When it's a lower S, that's like ego. But when it's capital S, that's our higher self. And that's what you got to focus on. The pain is crazy. Another thing you can do is work with crystals. You know, like I'm not a crystal expert, but I would look up crystals for throat chakras, and I would lay down and put them on my neck, and I would visualize a lotus flower where the pain is in my neck blossoming and opening and producing the seed of intention. Like, you know, you just have to visualize it. But if you cannot tell me that it started from a accident, or you fell down, or you sprained your back, or if it's not something like that, then it's got to be energetic. So you could reach out to me and we could talk about it some more. We could try a distance sound healing where I do the tuning forks on my neck. And sometimes, you know, I've had that work. I've had that happen. But that's not what this is. So let me go back to the schedule. So what I've been doing is the new moon and the full moons, I do these astrology transmissions. And then on the quarter moons, on the first quarter moons, it's the self-care with the Sidereal frequencies where I do the tuning forks on myself, and then you receive benefit. And then the third quarter moon, I didn't do the third quarter moon this last time because it was just after the concert, everything was just really busy, and then I slept for like 3 days. The third quarter moon, I'm focusing on global grieving because we're in this Pluto retrograde and things in the world are just so out of ma'at, so on ma'at. So I've decided on the third quarter moon, we'll be focusing on like just grieving, like all the things that we just don't like. You know, and in the Terran tradition, you offer the things you don't like and the things that you like up to the divine, and you let the divine deal with it. And so the third quarter moon is going to be for that. So that I posted the calendar. So that would be April 9th. April 16th is the pink full moon. April 23rd is the third quarter moon. And then we have another new moon, April 30th. That's another proof of why we have 13 months. Because if we have 13 moons, then we should have 13 suns. They call it a blue moon. We have 2 full moons in 1 month, or a black moon. We have 2 new moons in 1 month. But they are just not telling you that Scorpio is only 7 days long, and there's also the Apicus moon. They don't mention that. And then on May 1st, May Day is the middle of spring, mid-spring, and we'll have the Spiral Dance Medicine Wheel Sunrise Ceremony. So those are the things coming up. And then, of course, we have the Ancient African Adorations presentation on the Tachia Ahmed YouTube channel. I go live on TikTok as well. And I finally have someone that's going to start helping me with the replays so that I can post the little clips. And remember, I'm going to be posting the 40-day prosperity plan for the next 40 days. I'll be posting the affirmation abundance, the abundance affirmations, and you can find them at openyourmoneyflow.com. And I'll be posting the affirmations for the next 40 days. I won't be saying that I'm doing the prosperity plan because you're not supposed to talk about it when you're doing it, but I will be sharing my experience with you. And if you're into the Kemetic chanting, I'll be back today at 10:30 a.m. Central Time for the day of Hetaru, wisdom, teachings, and musical offerings. And also today is called April 1st, April Fool's Day. I posted a video about the origin of April Fools. The natural calendar up until the 1500s, the new year was celebrated on April 1st because it's like 10 days after the spring equinox. Even today, the Western holidays are 10 to 14 days after the natural holiday. If you look at the calendar, you'll see they're all come within 2 weeks of equinox, mid-spring, et cetera, et cetera. So April 1st was the new year. And then I think 1567 is when they changed the calendar from Julian to Gregorian. And then 1582 is when in France they made it so that if anyone still celebrated the new year on April 1st, they were considered to be a fool. And that's when they started the jokes, the pranks, putting signs on the back says kick me, kick me. And so it's really the time when natural, spiritual, enlightened, in tuned, awakened people would celebrate the new year. Because how can you celebrate the new year in the middle of winter? Now, I know that in the southern hemisphere, it would be starting the new year in summer, but the new year doesn't start in summer. The new year starts in spring, or like the Hebrew New Year, they have a new year starts in the fall. But the new year does not start in the middle, in the winter or in the summer. So it was when they changed the calendar that they started all this. They fixed the calendar because we know the ancient Egyptian people knew about precession of the equinox. When the Greeks and the Babylonians came up with the astrology system we use today, they fixed time because time moves forward one day every 70 years due to the wobble. And so that's why the signs are off by about a month, because every 70 years, time marches forward. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you today. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And if you have any more questions, you can find me at my website, lightbeingwellness.com, Sesheta.com. I'm no longer on Facebook. I left Zuckerberg, left Zuckerland. So you'll find me on TikTok, Telegram, Twitter, Pinterest, Etsy, YouTube, Melanated People, and sometimes Alignable. And then I have a website. You can sign up for my newsletter. You can sign up for my text messaging list. Thanks. And happy new moon after the spring equinox. Hatep. Oh, and of course, if you really like the presentations, you can make a donation to Asmataji Temple of Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds at dollar Amet El Ma'at, and you can find the link in my link tree and I hello. Do a hatap. I'll put it here in case anybody wants to. Right? Nope, it's got to be a capital E. Amet El Ma'at. Okay. Okay, yeah, so if you're enjoying these presentations, you can make a donation to Asmataji Temple, Amet El Ma'at, or paypal.me/Kimitones. Okay, do a hatap. See you at 10:30. I guess it doesn't want me to stop. There we go. Do a hatap.